I'm back and I'm live again. I just want to talk. The boys left me in the house, so I'm here. And what's on my mind right now is healing. I mean, healing is always on my mind because I just feel like, wait, what you gonna do if you ain't healing? You know, I watch so many people who are complacent with where they are in life and the deficiencies of their bodies and this, that, and the third. And everybody always has an excuse. I swear I be seeing like things floating today. I've been seeing like black spots floating. I actually caught one in my video that I posted, which is very peculiar to me. Because it was nothing there, but literally in my video you could see a black spot floating and I be seeing them. But anyway, I don't know, like it'd be hard for me to talk to other people sometimes, like about healing in general, because a lot of people definitely are able to live their lives not, live their lives complacent, fast food, dairy products, all the chemicals and the hair stuff, and just the complete overload of toxicity that is the world we live in today. And for me, it was like I'm healing because I didn't have a choice but to heal. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, that was just no place that I didn't want to be like that anymore. So, I mean, I guess I did have a choice because I could sit here and be sick and, still be getting yeast infections and, just dealing with common colds and mad mucus and all the dumb shit that comes with it. Dandruff, eczema, whatever. But for me, I literally felt like I could no longer exist in that form. And, part of healing and also being a healer is realizing that everybody doesn't have the urge to heal like you have the urge to heal. And it can be hard. It can be frustrating, especially if the people are the people that is close to you, like your family or, like your family, your significant other, or even your children. And most of the times, children are flexible. But I mean, if you have teenagers and stuff like that, or grown kids nowadays, and it can be hard and it is frustrating and it is irritating to try to explain to someone like, yes, Google says that this is the reason why and this is what you need to do, or that it's just not curable or nothing's gonna happen or you were just born with this. You know what I'm saying? That's what Google says, but there's knowledge beyond that. You think that before they invented eczema cream and shit that people was just getting flare-ups and itching and breaking out to death and there was no eczema cream or nothing to help them. Or maybe one, they didn't have skin issues back then, or maybe two, there's normal ways for you to deal with that, right? So I don't know, it's a lot. Healing is a lot. It's a diverse subject in general. But I mean, if you're being called to start healing, one of the biggest things that I like for people to understand is that you're not going to heal overnight. Like even something as simple as an example, like when you're detoxing your armpits, or you're going from using those crazy ass aluminum based chemicaled up deodorants to detoxing your armpits. You're not going to detox your armpits in one day, 1 week. When you first start trying the natural deodorants or the DIYs like limes and stuff like that, it might not work for you. Why? Because you've been putting those chemicals on your armpits ever since you started puberty. So that's years and years of built up chemicals and toxins in there and they just aren't going to release overnight. You know, and that's how you have to think about healing as well. If you've been sick and, you know, you've been eating this stuff since even prior to your true existence, because you are what your mother ate. And a lot of our parents were eating terrible things, you know, and not really knowing, or, you know, they didn't really know any better. So your body was composed of bullshit ass vitamins and minerals, you know, and maybe medicines, because I don't understand why doctors be giving pregnant women certain medicines and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they gave me a medicine when I was pregnant with my son that is now recalled. You know, so the doctors be definitely experimenting and shit with us. We real live. I mean, if you choose to be, you be a real live test dummy. But either way, since before you even existed literally physically outside of the womb, you likely have been being filled up with junk and bullshit. And so now then you was being filled up with it, then you go to growing up and eating it, you know what I'm saying, all of your life. And now you turn 18, 19, 20, 21, 30, 40, however old you are when you decide you want to heal. And you got to think, it's been so long, you know, of you filling up with toxins and all that stuff. Like, you've been eating poorly, you've been using chemical-based products, you know, like, it's all around. And you can't expect for yourself to heal in one day. You can't expect to fast one time and for you to be cured. You know, you just have to really think about it. I mean, like, it's just not how it works. You can't, the body just doesn't have the capability to reverse things that quickly. So be patient with yourself. Everything is a journey. When I first started thinking about fasting, for one thing, I could never fast. I would do fruit fast. I started off with fruit fast. I didn't start off water fasting or dry fasting. And I used to read and see, like, oh, the ancient Egyptians used to fast frequently, like not all the time, but they used to fast a lot. And I used to think to myself, like, oh, damn, like, that's a lot. Like, I don't know if I will be able ever to do that. And now, you know, I fast weekly, I fast regularly. You know, I'm fasting now. You know, I'm on a particular fast, and sometimes I water fast weekly. You know, like, and now fasting is something that is actually normal and regular for me. But 3 years ago, I don't think that I wasn't in a space to believe that I could actually accomplish that. So you definitely have to realize the growth in self. Even now, as I've just gotten to a point where I'm stretching regularly, not even just one time a day, but multiple times a day. I'm actually listening to the body and moving and stretching in my free time. I'm surprised I'm not stretching right now. But yeah, and watching the progress of places and that I never thought I could move or go, watching me be able to move into those positions more easily with the transitions and holding the positions for longer. You know, it's growth, it's progress, and it is just so beautiful. I mean, it's by far growth and progress. It's very beautiful. It's just like when you have a baby and, you know, you see a baby and you're super excited as they move up the milestones, and they start lifting up their heads, and then they start rolling over, and then they start crawling or scooting. You know how you're super excited about all those moments for a baby? You have to be super excited about all your steps too. Because another tendency that people have is to be hard on themselves. and to not acknowledge their growth, because sometimes we set goals in our mind and we're like, by next year, I want to be, I don't know, let me see. By next year, I want to reach a goal of this amount of sales in my business or whatever. And then when you made that goal, when you first started your business, you were legit getting no sales. You know what I'm saying? And now you got into a point where even if you're not making X amount of sales yet, acknowledge the growth that you have accomplished, the base that you have created. Even now, like as I make videos and I speak with you all so freely, this was something that I manifested. I remember the day I decided I wanted to be a public speaker. And it wasn't that long ago. It was in 2019 when I was in college. I gave a poetry speech for my class and everybody was so moved. And I was like, yo, I'm good at this. Like, I should do this. But I didn't know, like what to do. Or even when I first started my business, I only was selling like shea butter and sugar scrubs, and I wasn't really getting into the whole depth of the holistic healing. Now I'm in depth with the holistic healing. I have assisted in healing others. I'm constantly, currently assisting and healing others. And this was something that only I could speak for and say that I wanted at first. And now this is my reality. So the power of manifestation, and also just trusting the process and your growth in general, and patting yourself on the back. Because every time I look back, I'm like, oh my God, like, wow, I've grown. Wow, I've learned so much. Even from where I was last summer to, well, it's not exactly summer yet, is it? Last spring to this spring is crazy. Like, the growth be crazy. Like, you really have to congratulate yourself. You really have to acknowledge your growth, because the hardest on you. Oh, this is what I was going to tell y'all. Ain't it funny how we could be our worst enemies and our best friends at the same time? Like, we are our worst enemy because a lot of us are way too overly critical of self. We would give somebody else the credit or acknowledge their growth maybe before we even acknowledge our own, because we so focused on wanting to be at the finish line that we don't realize that if the finish line is 4 miles away and we've already ran 0.5 of the race, that's 0.5. Now we only got 3.5 more to go. That's an accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an accomplishment. So, stop being so critical of self and take your time with self. It's so easy for everybody to be up here and speaking about what they can do and what they are doing. And for somebody who is aspiring to do those things, you might start to get a little impatient with self. But baby, you just gotta trust the process. Like, that is just it. Everybody can look at somebody and be like, dang, I wish I was there, or that's where I'm trying to be. But you can do that without putting yourself down, because you are on the way. And sometimes we get lost and stuck and whatever, but as long as you fix yourself back up and start heading towards that direction again, that's what's important. How long have I been up here? 15 minutes is a good while. I'll be leaving now.